Essential motorcycle safety gear review and comparison. First thing that's essential, in my opinion, is going to be gloves. If you have some good quality gloves, these are from Sidici, and you take care of them. So you can see I've got some wear and tear on my thumb right there. Then you're going to have a good time. But if you don't take care of them, they're going to get torn open. I had a pair of built, and the way that I was opening my helmet eventually shredded the thumb stitches, and now the thumb is open. So I just can't even use those gloves. They're not worn out, they're just torn where my thumb is. If you don't think you need gloves, here's a little test for you. Go outside, find a sidewalk, stand straight up, and just fall forward without bending your knees or your hips, and just catch yourself on your hands. If your hands hurt, then you need to wear gloves when you're on a motorcycle. If your hands don't hurt, who are you? The pinky has this extra guard sewn in, and what this does is, if this gets hooked on something, the whole pinky is not going to get broken and pulled back in a bad way, and it's going to make these two fingers kind of work together and be a little stronger. But there's other kinds of gloves. Let me show you real quick. These guys are pretty badass. They have wrist guards, they have this little mechanism called the boa. Push it down and give it a twist, and that will tighten up these wrist bone protectors. And there's also this mechanism on the fingers that actually moves in and out, and its purpose is to protect the joints in your hand. These guys are going to take care of your hands. Another kind of glove that is available is these fairly thin, but they're actually a name brand. They're Harley Davidson, and they've got a little bit extra stitching, a couple layers of material, and they're going to help protect the sensitive parts of your hand when your body weight is on that, and it's saving you sliding down towards your eventual stop from leaving a motorcycle without parking it first. So always try to park your motorcycle before you leave it. Anyway, that's these. Slightly less protective, but still better than nothing gloves. A pair of gloves you should never ride a motorcycle with are these Makita gloves. These are grippy little tool gloves. They're made of cloth on one side. They've got like this rubber sticky stuff on the other side. These will give you false confidence, and you're going to end up absolutely not having any protection whatsoever. If any of your fingers get hooked on something, they have no kind of reinforcement. There's no extra layers of material to protect anything. Keep these for woodworking. They're no better than this. What are you thinking? Are you going to put this on your hand and then ride your motorcycle into the weather? If a bee hits your hand with these things on, you're going to have a bee impregnated into your bone. Next, we're going to talk about shoes. I've got a couple samples of shoes. There's a pair I'm wearing, and there's 3 other in the room. Okay, all right. So the first kind of shoe that we want to discuss is these adventure bike shoes, and they're designed for when you're going to do some pretty heavy off-road, rolling through the bush. Branches might smack your upper ankle, and you want something that's just going to deflect all those forces and keep your foot in one place. But also, you're going to have the kind of tread that is going to have a nice little hook for your peg, but it's also going to be, if you need to start a walk or something, you're going to make it back out of the bush. And that's what these are designed for. Really kind of love those boots. Those are what I ride with on this motorcycle. It's kind of an adventure bike, but it's a Harley Davidson. The second kind of shoe, streetable. These are laced up. They kind of look like Vans, but they are really motorcycle boots. Part that I'm pressing with my thumb, it's actually double enforced, and there's some Kevlar going on, and it's on both sides. And what that's going to do is protect against any kind of excessive heat, or if there's a mechanical problem and it starts sort of poking out towards your ankle, you're going to get just a little bit more protection with those than you would with something like exercise sneakers. These you should never ride a motorcycle with. Here's why. These are super thin. The sole is basically made of foam. Just the heat of an exhaust system is going to melt these shoes. Second reason is there's nothing protecting your ankle. These guys stop before your ankle bone, so there's no protection from the top of those shoes out. The fourth kind of shoe is the one that I'm wearing right now, so I'll just put my foot in the view. And you can see these are kind of booty. They do have the double reinforcement right here, so I've got some protection against heat and any kind of debris from the road. I've also got pretty good grip, but they're not like those adventure boots. These guys are going to let me walk around on carpeted floors and through tile, and I'm not really stomping and clomping, pulling the stormtrooper situation. So they're a little more acceptable out in public, and I think they look nice. definitely comfortable, but they're not very warm. These are excessively warm. So if you're going to be riding with these, probably either going to be colder weather, or you're going to be just constantly riding and not really stopping and going in places. Because you're going to want to take these off as soon as you stop your motorcycle. If it's a normal Florida hot weather day. That's our shoe section. Now we're going to jump into jacket. Every rider should be wearing some sort of a protective top. Whether or not it has pads in the elbows and the shoulders, that's up to the particular rider, but they need to have something on top that protects their rib cage, their internals from internal bleeding, all the kind of problems that you can run into if you come to a sudden stop when you have no car around you, no seatbelt, no airbag. So basically your car is your jacket and the helmet. So just keep that in mind. Pick jackets well. This is my favorite jacket. I'll just show this real quick. From Alpine Stars. It's just a nice simple leather jacket. It's got some elbow reinforcement, but there isn't a padding in there. There's also shoulder reinforcement, and it's got a pocket for the back protector. I don't use those pads inside this particular piece of equipment because I'm a larger person and I can't actually fit the pads and myself inside the jacket at the same time. With that kind of problem, I'm taking a little bit of risk, but I think it's better than having no jacket at all. That's my favorite. I wear that quite often. When I'm adventuring, I've got this guy. He's got some padding and stuff going on. He's got the back protector. I don't know if you can see the blue kind of sticking out through there. It's in that pocket. It's got a little hoodie in case it's raining, but that's to protect against branches, maybe getting stuck on the mirror and then whacking me in the arm. Oh wait, that's the two jackets here. Two more jackets I'm going to talk about. This one is kind of a hoodie, but it has an elbow pad or a forearm pad, shoulder assembly, and then it's got a back pad, and this one is super ventilated, which means in Florida I can pop this guy on and go for a ride, and I'm actually a little cold in 85-degree weather. And then the fourth kind of jacket is your standard, Harley leather. I guess this is considered heavy duty, I don't know. But it's also got the pocket for the back jacket. It's got the pockets for padding. You can see the pocket here for the back protector. I don't keep back protectors in all my jackets because I don't wear all my jackets all. So most of the time I'm wearing either this red hoodie, and I think there's a photo of me online somewhere in that. I might wear this adventure bike jacket along with the adventure bike. And then I'll wear this leather jacket with my nice little H2 here. That's it for jacket. And we're going to move on to the next segment. The next segment we're going to talk about riding pants. A lot of people will just grab a pair of jeans and they figure that's enough and they'll be good to go. But there's problems with that. If you look at these are made for riding. These have little ridges on the knees, and there's a pocket behind there for a knee pad. There's also several layers of liner in here, and you can see it's actually got DuPont Kevlar built in. And what these are made for is if you were to go down and you were at such a high rate of speed that you wound up sliding for quite a while, these are going to wear off in layers until they get to the Kevlar, and then they're going to do their best to protect your skin. These are what I would highly recommend to anybody who's going at highway speed, especially in Florida because these guys drive a little crazy around here. These are my other riding pants. These are actually leather. They don't have the built-in pads. They don't have the double layers. And so with pants like these, I'm not going to go very fast. I'm not going to take a highway at any chance at all. Those are just for riding around town if I'm going to the local coffee shop or just meeting some friends to have a dinner. Oh, also with pants, there are riding pants jeans, and I've got a pair of those. They don't fit great, but they do fit. And of course, they've got the pockets for the pads, and they've also got the Kevlar built in. Just don't like the way they look. So that's one of the problems with protective gear. If it doesn't look the way you want, or if it doesn't fit well enough for you to be able to move, you're not going to use it. So make sure your gear fits, make sure it looks good to you. Who cares what everyone else thinks? It has to look good to you, and use it. The next category of safety equipment that I want to discuss real quick is some helmets. If you don't have a helmet, get a helmet. If the helmet is too big or doesn't fit, get a fitting helmet. Why? Well, for one thing, I'll get the shade down, shade back up. For one thing, if your helmet is so big, and your head is inside, and something happens where you get a side impact, your helmet is going to hit the thing, and then your helmet's going to hit your own head and smash your head to the one side. And what happens is inside of your skull, your brain, this little gooey blob, is going to smash the inside of your skull twice as much because the helmet is going to hit the thing, and then your head is going to hit the inside of the helmet, and then your brain is going to smash into the side of your head, and then it bounces. Your brain is going to bounce the other way, but also your head is going to be bouncing inside this helmet. And the helmet might twist, get a weird way, break your nose. It could twist completely back, and you're blind. You really need a helmet that fits your head. Motorcycle accidents are no joke. This particular kind of helmet is called, I believe, a convertible, and that's because it has this chin mount that goes over the top, and you can ride it like it's just an open face. You can also get this guy, if the screen is down, When you lift this up, it actually lifts up the screen for you. Then you can convert it. Now you've got basically a full face. And then you can close it. And you've also got this sunscreen, so you can't see my fingers behind it. What does it look like from inside helmet? The helmets are pretty good, but they do have vision problems. Like, you won't always be able to see everything going on. You will have to swivel your head. But that's the same with regular eyeballs. Second kind of helmet, this is a Harley Davidson helmet. Full face helmet that you can open, which means if I pull this lever and lift up, you can actually ride like this and have it open, but it's not going to go all the way behind your head and then let you put the windscreen back down. If you want the windscreen down, you're going to have to close the face of the helmet, and that's just how that works. Third kind of helmet, and this is my daily, this is what I ride when I'm out riding, and this is a full face helmet that doesn't have any kind of functionality for taking away the face. That's okay though, because it's a lot of protection. This particular brand is not Harley or anything. This is called a Rye. This one's called an LS2, and then this one is a Harley brand. All these helmets are pretty good. They're all DOT and everything else certified, so that's good stuff. This one here is considered the best. So the people that go really fast on motorcycles, this is their baby. And you can see a couple of imperfections on my windscreen where I may have gone faster than the bugs in Florida. That's how my helmet works, and that's what I like. You might have noticed this odd circle on a couple of my helmets. There's one there, there's another one there, and then you can see this little, I don't know, crystal? You can call it a crystal. What that is a heads-up display by a company called iLight. And it just shows me the map if I happen to pick some directions and I tell my phone, tell me how to get a certain place. I don't have to look down at my phone. I can just see the map going on up to the side, which is where I usually position it, so that while I'm riding, I can just take a glance and I know if I'm got a turn coming up or if there's some zigzags in the road. I've got a little telemetry going on. Second thing I've got on my helmet is this camera mount. This is a really useful camera mount. I've got these DJI cameras and they just magnetically stick on. Now, the recommendation is you should get a little tether and tie that tether into the helmet somewhere, like the chin strap. I don't feel safe doing that because if this thing came off and it's trying to like disappear from me, but it's on a tether, instead of just leaving and I'll go find it, it's going to keep hitting me in the head. So I don't want to be smacked in the head by a little piece of electronics. I'll just let it fall and I'll go get it. So that's why I don't use those. The third thing, and this is something I would recommend for everybody, this is a Cardo Pack Talk, and what it does is you can communicate with other riders, you can listen to your music, your phone calls. You can also have, if you're out of cell range, these guys can actually just talk to each other through the Bluetooth on cell phones, and they've got a radio wave signal so you can pick up like FM radio and things like that. How useful is it? I will tell you it's night and day. When I forget to charge it and I go out for a ride, it's kind of sad. It's like my friend didn't come with me on my ride. The speakers are in there. They're behind the material, the way this helmet's designed. And the microphone is that little fuzzy thing right there. The pickup is pretty good. I did a video with that microphone and it wasn't bad, but I think I'd rather have the DJI microphone just because sound quality and the ability to take apart the sound before you mix it into the video and just make it all sound a little bit more balanced. Those kind of features are important to me, so that's what I'm going to do. But it's an option. If you want to use your Cardo to record your videos, you can do that. Does everybody have to record videos? No. So that's my wrap up. Oh, a couple little side notes. One side note. Get yourself a headset. Something. And if you have long hair, you're going to want to get yourself a hightail, which I have over here. This guy right here connects to the back of the helmet. Let me show you. You can see these little rubber grooves. They are not vents. They're actually where these little teeth go in. And then this little pocket holds my longer hair. When I roll it up and put it in the pocket, sometimes I forget, and then I have knots in my hair. Let's see, I've covered, what have we covered? We covered gloves, we covered boots or riding shoes, we covered what is not riding shoes, we covered nice ventilated jackets, traditional jackets, adventure bike jackets, kind of nice leather jackets. I like that leather. Oh, I have not covered the knee pad. That was the thing. When I am on my adventure bike, if I'm wearing just the adventure pants, which are usually more waterproof than protection, I will add these knee pads to the outside. These are branch flectors in my opinion. When you're on the trail, especially in Florida, the trails change constantly. I just dropped the knee pad. Every time a vehicle goes by, they could knock something loose and another branch is suddenly sticking out on the trail. So you have to be careful and be prepared, and the way I do that is I have protection on my knees because my knees might be sticking out. So it's better be prepared than to be repaired. It's kind of a silly thing to say, but I think it'll be a nice tagline. It's better to be prepared than to get repaired. One last thing. This is heated equipment. This is also Harley Davidson, and mainly I'll use this on my adventure bike. It'll plug into the motorcycle. It'll also plug into the pants, the gloves, and the socks. So I have heated socks, heated gloves, heated pants, and a heated jacket, and they all wire together, and then you've got a control system right here. This guy is actually lit up orange when you're using it, and you can click for the jacket control, or you can click for the gloves control. And then there's another control system on the pants, and you can do the pants or the socks. In Florida, when it's below 40 degrees, absolutely need these below 40 degrees. But I was talking to a friend who's from Wisconsin, and they were like, hey, it's finally warmed up to 36. I was outside enjoying the sun. Who are these people? I don't understand. That's my quick little run through. These are my bikes. This is Falcor from the Neverending Story. This is the Green Monster, and I'm loving him, but his dragon name, I have dragon names for all my bikes. His dragon name is Elliot from Pete's Dragon. And then this is Toothless, who's getting a little bit of work done. Got the seat off. I've got some wiring going in. There's a surprise under there. And he's still got his green eyes poking out, hiding under the jacket. He'll be done soon, and I'll probably do a little video just to introduce what I've changed and what the plans are for this particular motorcycle. Am I going to be silly? I am going to be silly. That's how I roll. So that's it for today. We talked about gear. We went through gloves, pants, boots, helmets, knee pads, heated gear, and I think I've given you enough information that you can make good decisions for yourself. Use gloves. Use real gloves. Not, dollar store gloves or cotton gloves or even a latex glove. Get motorcycle gloves. You need double padding. You want to keep your hands in one piece. And I wish you the best. Bye, friends.